This is John Carpenter covering the New Hampshire primary for AGS10 News. It wasn't even close on the Republican side. It was a matter for Stephen Hamilton and Kyle Fitzgerald of being outgunned, outmanned, and outfought. With 100% of the results reporting, it was a blowout for Doug Butcher, who gained 50% of the vote with 107,000. Stephen Hamilton falls behind with 28% at 58,000, and Kyle Fitzgerald at 22%. These results, however, are not a surprise considering Doug Butcher was the only person to have a ground game in New Hampshire, the only person to put out an extensive amount of ads, and simply spent a much larger amount of time in New Hampshire. Stephen Hamilton, for all of the advantages that he had in New Hampshire, was unable to stop this juggernaut. When we look at the Democratic side, however, we see a very, very tight race between Matthew Arguello, Charles Marshall, and Mike Brontas. But with all the chips down on the table, it was Matthew Arguello, the former speaker and OMB director, who emerged victorious in a squeaker vote against Charles Marshall. That's 26% to 25%, only 400 votes separating them. Mike Brontas finishes a very strong third at 24%, followed by Vince Paskey, who seems to have disappeared off the face of the planet, and Matthew Jones, again a good showing at 8%. With a delegate count, that brings it to Arguello at 6, Marshall at 6, Brontas at 6, Vince Paskey with 4, and again Matthew Jones is shut out. Up next, South Carolina and Nevada, and Michigan for the GOP. This is John Carpenter with AGSN. Have a good night.